I'm Christie Anthony. I'm the Executive Officer of Festivals Adelaide, which is the alliance of 10 arts festivals in South Australia, all we think unique to the world, and they've come together themselves to create a peak body, and I head that up. With the Festivals Adelaide, we know that it's useful to work together. That's the whole point, you know. Not only are we a stronger voice with our economic data collaborated as well as our, our visitation and other figures, but we also believe that actually as a working group, as working in festivals, we've got lots that we could do together and learn from each other and also just be on the same page. So that particularly when it comes to measurement and and knowing that there are tools available to us that are helpful to all be using and road testing together rather than necessarily doing our own thing. So within the festivals, we got the production teams together today, and the production teams, there's a lot we could potentially talk about and resource. We call what we do co-opetition because effectively we are all in competition looking for resources from government, looking for audiences, looking for sponsorships and so on. But we also have our own uniqueness. We know who we are and where our markets are, and working together collaboratively is very powerful. Sustainability has been an issue, well, it's an ongoing issue for everybody, both in an economic sense and an environmental sense. And I thought a workshop today, coming together to talk about it at a workshop today, would be, really positive to see where we're at individually, who's leading, and as always, there are some festivals doing more than others, and everybody, however, I think is on the understanding that there is potentially economic benefit in energy efficiency, absolutely, and also that we're still on the cusp of what's yet to come, and it would be good to be ahead of the game. In terms of what's required from us, from our potential funders in the future and from our contractors and what we require of them. Fleshed out ideas about where we're at, and I think we definitely have a desire to make sure we are working at a national level and benchmarking ourselves against ourselves and looking at how we can retain our data and record our data. So it was really useful discussion. Here at Festivals Adelaide, we agreed today that we should have a statement of intent to show that we're serious about our sustainability issues, and that should lead to policies developed by each individual festival. We also came to some general discussion about where we sit. This was the production managers, of course, and how they can feed up to the next level to ensure that they get buy-in from their directors and from the chairs. And the beauty about the alliance of Festivals Adelaide is that I deal with all the directors as a matter of course, that's what we do, and of course the chairs as well. So, I think if it's going to work, we'll be able to get buy-in from everyone. And at this stage, all we intend to do is measure our data, capture our data and see what we're doing. We also discussed some bigger ideas today, and we learnt from each other about who's doing what. But I think that in the first instance, we agreed that, picking a project that's actually manageable within each festival to capture the data of the energy efficiency is a great starting place. And using a tool, the same tool, all together, each of us, will collectively help because we will be able to amalgamate the data potentially and then, see where we're at. But also just in sharing use of the tool, software's, some people get it, some people don't. Knowing that there's someone at the end of the line who can help you with it is useful, or around the corner or whatever. So yeah, I think it was successful. We're going to move forward, that's for sure. Festivals are fundamental to leading societies in a way. The arts is always a driver for cultural change. Artists are way ahead of the game, always, and sometimes decades ahead. But when it comes to practicalities and infrastructure, we actually have to use the resources and the tools and the contractors we have. So we have to massage it into being futuristic. And I think that we can both for the cost saving and the actual environmental benefit for our actual organisations, but also for the leadership and taking our customer base with us is really important. Festivals can change perceptions. Festivals can do cool things. In Adelaide, in South Australia, we're still the only state, as I understand, to have a 10-cent recyclable bottle collection. So every single bottle, plastic bottle, can that you buy and milk container gets 10 cents back if you recycle it. And there's value in that. That helps our events. There's no question we don't have rubbish around the events, but there are ways, I think, that we can work together again in energy efficiency and start ensuring that as a collective group we can help each other to lead the way and do what we can. We talked a lot today about pure energy, using generators and mains power, and how we can measure that and what we can do to control it, which is important. And also renewable energies, and how in some of our new infrastructure build, Adelaide's still building a lot of things and refreshing, and we're in a pretty exciting new time, and there's possibility at this time to build in renewable structures, energy structures. However, there was also quite a lot of talk about the festivals themselves and the artistic intent of what they create, and the fact that there's a lot of wastage after each event, whereby there's energy embodied in the creation of these structures and spectacular things that then don't necessarily get used. Often they're iconic to a festival, but we believe that in a futuristic sense there may be opportunity to reuse some of these materials, to share, to work together jointly. I've called it the big shed. It's a long way off because there's a lot of logistics to work through, but there was certainly an agreement that there is a lot of wastage, and there's a lot of very fast get-outs that require big, quick decisions about what to do with things, and having a resource that was able to help share that stuff would be efficient, could be more efficient, and could help us all. Within the team that we've pulled together, there are some people who are already completely committed and want to work together to help push up to make sure that we have very clear sustainable policies through all the festivals and an overarching agreement through Festivals Adelaide. But there's also some smaller festivals who just don't have the time or the capacity to have another additional workload. So what was great was working together to see what's reasonable, what's the starting point. Let's not try and bite off more than we can chew. And yes, everyone wants to be in, and everyone sees that this is an opportunity to work together and to do something good, but I think we will take it as one step at a time, and everyone agreed on that. That was very positive, that we will be only looking at what we can do and not trying to change the world all in one moment.